Welcome back to the Influence Declassified podcast. Today's guest, you guys, I am so excited to have Mikayla J, on the podcast this week. This is a topic that I'm super passionate about. I love talking about manifestation, and I love talking about manifestation in terms of social media, like manifesting followers, manifesting social media growth, how you can use social media as a manifestation tool. We are going to dive into so many incredible, exciting, fun, unique, a little bit of woo topics today. If you've never heard of Mikayla, you're missing out, number one. She also has an incredible podcast. You should go check her out, Mindset Magic Manifestation. It's been one of my personal favorite podcasts for years. So when I tell you this is a little bit of like a fangirl moment, it's a little bit of a fangirl moment. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, as always, for listening. I hope you absolutely enjoy this episode. Take notes, get comfortable, get a coffee. If you're in the car, turn the volume up. You're going to want to really lock in to this episode, okay? Enjoy this conversation. I'm keeping this intro nice, short, and sweet so we can get right into it. I will see you in the next episode and enjoy. Thank you so much for being here. I have to like have my little fangirl moment first because I've literally been listening to your
Yeah.
podcast for years. I can't even put
Oh
a
my
number to it
God.
'cause I've been listening to your podcast for forever. So thank you for being here and
Yeah.
agreeing to
Thanks
do
for
all the
being
things.
a long-term listener. Like
Oh my
this
God,
has
girl.
been one of the best parts of like doing so many podcast interviews this year. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I get to like chat with people that are like actual listeners of my
Hmm.
show and get to know you guys too, which is so
Yeah.
special for
It's
me.
fun.
So
I remember the
thank
LA
you.
days, pre-husband days, the single era girl. Like
Oh
I've
my
been
God.
listening for a long time.
For all of the things, like man, like
The
what a
eras.
journey even.
Yeah. But for the people who are not a huge fan, like myself, give us a tea, who you are, what you do, how you got to be where you are now.
Yeah. So, hi, everybody. If we're meeting for the first time, I'm Mikayla J. I am a manifestation factor coach, mentor, podcast extraordinaire.
Hmm.
And I have been in business for almost 8 years. August will be 8 years. I've been podcasting for the same amount of time, which has just been quite the journey. And I really started posting about manifestation and mindset because it
Hmm.
completely changed my life. Like, I will
Hmm.
never forget the moment that I knew I needed to start creating content online about it because
Hmm.
I was like, wow, I have used these principles and practices and it has completely changed my life. Like, I remember looking in the mirror and being like, if I could change my shitty life, I can change
Hmm.
anybody else's, even just one person. And I felt this like sense of moral obligation to start
Hmm.
my business because I had like been practicing manifestation and really found my version of it of what I felt like worked on repeat for about
Hmm.
9 months. And that's what birthed the podcast, which is called Mindset Magic and Manifestation, and
Hmm.
my business as a whole. And it's just been a whirlwind from there.
I love it. I just following your work and everything that you've done, just like the way that you approach manifestation, I feel like is so like we still get the woo, we still get the fun elements, but it's also approachable. And it's not like you need to do this ritual 10 times a day and you need to like write this and that. And like you just make it so approachable and so easy to understand in like a day-to-day way that I really appreciate. And I'm sure other people appreciate too. But how have you used manifestation specifically to grow your business, to grow your own social media?
Mm, so many different ways. And thank you for saying that. That's
Of
like the
course.
whole reason why I wanted to start my business. I'm like,
Yeah.
everybody is like using these like manifestation rituals, and it's like way too like, woo, I don't know what we're doing here, or
Hmm.
like how this actually translates. And so I was like, I need to give the girls like actual specifics. But
Yeah.
how I've used manifestation to grow my business, I think a lot of it has come from an identity standpoint. And this
Hmm.
is really how I treat social media as a whole, which I'm sure we'll get into as well. But I think about like who do I need to be to have
Right.
a big and a strong social media presence? You know, when
Hmm.
I started my podcast, there was like nobody listening. Nobody at home cared what
Hmm.
I was doing, right? And I think so many women can resonate with that who have businesses or content creators posting content. Like nobody really cares, except like
Yeah.
maybe your best friends if you're lucky. You know, you hear so many horror stories
Yep.
of like people's friends like sending their, content in group chats and making fun of them.
Hmm.
It's just like you really have to grow through the process. But
Yes.
nobody cared. I remember when I got on my first call with my very first business coach, and she was like, okay,
Hmm.
you have a podcast. How many downloads are you getting? And I was like, 30 for this month. And I was like celebrating that. And she was like, we
Yeah.
need to work on this. And I was like, 30 downloads. I was like, that's like 30 people or like, 15
Yeah.
people listening twice. I just thought that was like so incredible going from not having any support. But So starting truly from zero, and like when I started
Hmm.
posting for business and for my podcast, I had less than 1,000 followers. So to grow
Hmm.
my social media from a manifestation standpoint, it was like, okay, well, who do I need to be? Like, how would I be showing up
Hmm.
on social media if I already had, at first, I would wanted like the 5K followers. Like, okay, if I had
Hmm.
5K followers or like 10K when you used to have 10K to get like the swipe up link or
Oh my
whatever it was,
God. Oh my God. I
throwback.
remember that.
And like you would be like, oh my gosh, like it would constantly be like, DM me for the link, DM me for the link. And I was like, I just want to put the fucking link in my stories. Like that would make my life so
Yes.
much easier.
Yeah.
So it was like, who do I need to be? And even when you're going through like a tough time and you don't feel like
Hmm.
posting content, you're having a shitty 5 minutes, I like to call it, and you're
Hmm.
not in the mood. It's like, okay, well, if I had 100,000 followers, if I had 1 million followers, like how would I be showing up today? How would I be
Hmm.
posting? And taking the identity approach to social media is really how I ended up manifesting so many more followers because when you
Yeah.
start showing up as a certain version of yourself, then
Hmm.
those are the results you end up attracting.
Yeah. And so you have to literally be okay with no one or like very small amounts of people seeing your stuff, but in your mind, imagining as if it were tens and thousands and even millions of people seeing, like showing up as if the millions of people are watching, but then also simultaneously being okay with 10 people watching and maybe five of those people being your friends and family.
Yeah, and you know what? Actually, it's such a good point too. It's like you have to be okay with the fact that you're not going to get that instant gratification. And I think coming
Hmm.
from a manifestation standpoint, so many people get into the idea of manifesting because they want this overnight success. They want this instant
Yep.
win. Like
Yep.
I have almost 17,000 followers on Instagram. That was not overnight. Like that has been built over
No.
8 years, you guys. And like even like my TikTok, I have almost 40,000 followers. Like that was not overnight. I was posting on TikTok
Hmm.
multiple times a day. Oh my gosh, for like a year and a half before I ever had my first video like
Yep.
pop off that brought me follow like actual amounts of like big amounts of followers, I
Yes.
should say. And so it's like you have to have that inner dialogue. And this is part of the
Hmm.
manifestation work is working on the mindset, is like working on your mindset to be like, I'm going to show up as this person. And I
Right.
know it's going to take time. And I know every day that I show up as this person, it's going to compound and it's going to come together. And I
Exactly.
don't need the external evidence. That's where people struggle,
Hmm.
especially with social media.
Yeah.
They're like, they
Yeah.
want they want the likes, they want the follows, they want the DMs, they want everything, and it's not always going to be there right away, but that
Hmm.
dictates and immediately tells me like the level of success that you can achieve. Is like, can you
Yeah.
keep going and not get in your head regardless of what the numbers are right now? Because if you constantly
Hmm.
need this external validation, it's going to be too overwhelming for you at some point, and you're not going to be able to maintain it.
Yeah, and that energy, people can sense that in content. Like if you have that like desperate, I want followers, everyone follow me, like energy, that gives
Yeah.
people the ick and they're not gonna want to follow you in the first place. They're like, this girl's showing up just for followers. She doesn't care about me as a person. She only cares about the
Mhm.
numbers. She cares about the vanity metrics. She wants the likes and the views and the comments. Like we all do. But if you come across with that like desperate, it's like lack, it's like rooted in lack energy. I feel like that desperate, like, oh my God, please follow me, please follow me. Like I want to hit this follower goal, please. Like it's just
Yeah. Ew.
it
Like
gives me the ick. It gives me the ick.
totally, because, and I think because of the online space and like us having the internet, we like
Hmm.
forget like these are people. Like
Yeah, like real
17,000
people.
followers, like that's 17,000 people. That's literally insane.
Yeah.
Like if 100 people like your post, if 100 people view your post, that's 100
Hmm.
people listening to what you have to say. Like I don't
Yeah.
know where along the lines we just became so numb to it because it's like so
So true.
normalized now. But I'm like,
Hmm.
that is like a big deal. Even me celebrating the 30 podcast downloads at the beginning, I was like,
Yeah.
that is such a big deal to me. I'm like, imagine speaking in a room with 30 people. Like, that's always
Hmm.
how I thought about it. And so it's like, that is actually crazy. Like, they are, and when people feel
Yeah,
like
I
a
know.
number, they don't want to be a part of it, to your point. Like, if somebody's like
Exactly.
desperate for the followers, like, I don't feel like I'm entering to a community. I don't feel like I'm entering
Hmm.
to a culture in your content. I don't feel like
Yeah.
I'm here to like learn. You actually want to see me win. I'm just here for what? You to get a nice reservation at a nice restaurant because you have 1 million
Hmm.
followers. Like that's not going to do it for people these days.
Yeah, exactly. Like there have been so many times I've done like public speaking events and it's like 30, 40, 50 people. And I'm like, oh my God, like
Yeah.
this is a lot of people. But then like people see that on social media and they're like, oh my God, only 30? Like that's not, the disconnect between the numbers is crazy. But leads me to my
Mhm.
next question talking about follower count. What are your thoughts on like trying to manifest a specific number of followers? So I feel like I've seen so many videos of like, oh, if you want to manifest 100,000 followers, like do this, or like, I'm just so curious on what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, it's so funny. I was reflecting on this like a couple months ago. I
Hmm.
never put a follower number on a vision board of mine until
Yeah.
after my TikTok blew up. Like, I
Hmm.
remember I had a couple videos go viral in December of 2020. And it was
Hmm.
after that I had like hit 30,000 followers. And I was like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, this is crazy. It is
Yep.
crazy. So many people. And I was like, ooh, I can't remember what I think I put like a million. I like edited
Of
in on
course.
Canva, whatever, put on my vision board. And that's the
Hmm.
only time that I have ever put like a follower number on a vision board. And I actually ended
Yeah.
up taking it off because I'm like, that's not doing anything for me. And
Right.
when I think
Right.
about like my vision board, I'm like, I even see it in my background of like of our call right now. I'm like, when I
Hmm.
look at the photos, I want to look at each of them and I want to know the specific goal. I want a specific
Hmm.
feeling and like that. And I'm like, just that
Yeah.
number on the screen isn't doing anything for me. So
Exactly.
it never really motivated me personally, other than certain milestones like the 10K on
Hmm.
Instagram to get
Of
the link.
course.
Like,
Yeah.
or, I think right now a big thing for people at TikTok's like 1,000 followers for TikTok shop or whatever. Those
Hmm.
specific goals, I absolutely understand. But when people are like,
Yes.
"Ooh, do this and manifest 100K followers," what I find it ends up creating for people is a lot
Oh
of
my God,
pressure
yes.
and a lot of discontentment in the process because all you're doing is continue to post to add up to the goal and add up to the goal and add up
Hmm.
to the goal. We're not focused on like, I want to create content that's like really fucking good. I want to create content
Yeah.
that my clients are referencing. They were like, this post was so
Hmm.
good. I want content that like starts conversations. I want
Right.
content that is bringing in sales. Like you end up getting wrapped up in what I call a distraction. Like when we are just so
Yes.
focused on numbers, you are just getting distracted. You've lost the plot essentially. So
A thousand
it,
percent.
yeah, it's not really my memo because it does add pressure. But I will say on
Hmm.
the other side, because there's some people that don't feel that pressure. They're like, ooh, actually
Right.
having the number goal, they're more logistical, they're more analytical. I'm like
Hmm.
painfully type B, surprisingly.
Oh my God,
So
girl. I feel seen. I'm like type B, type C, ADHD girl to my core.
I love it. I'm like so type B. I'm like showing up to the airport 30 minutes before my flight takes off, like not a
Hmm.
care in the world, like zero stress. I'm gonna get a coffee, like so
I feel
type
that on a
B.
soul level, truly.
Yeah, I'm like a rebel productivity type. So even if I make my own thing, I like rebel against my own game plan. Like, so I'm
Hmm.
so not this person, but I do have clients that are more analytical, practical.
Right.
They want
Right.
to, set a goal and they want to like check the boxes along
Hmm.
the way. So I find if you are that person and if you're just like, well, I need a goal to work towards, or I just kind of feel
Yeah.
like I'm endlessly going, it's okay to set, but we also need to have goals within that, like the community, the
Yeah.
conversation, and the sales.
Exactly. And I feel like too, aside from it being a distraction, which I totally agree with you, it almost takes away from building an actual community. Like you become so focused on the number, the number, the number that you forget about these are real human beings behind this and people sense that energy. But it also kind of contributes to this idea that you need to have a shit ton of followers in order to have an impact and in order to like have a successful business. Like my business was full
Mhm.
time. I started on Twitter, which is like hysterical now that it's X,
So
whatever. I got
crazy.
banned. That's a whole other story.
You
But
got banned. No.
I did. I was a
Elon, bring
very,
her ex account back.
it is like kind of back now, but it's not the same as it was. Girl, I was just like a very rebellious feminist. I made making men mad my job and
Got
it was a whole thing. I got banned.
it.
But that's where, and I like, I started my business with like, I think I maybe had 40 or 50,000 followers there. At my peak, I had like almost 70,000, but I was never really focused on chasing the numbers. I was more focused on just like building that community with my people. Like I literally would make group chats. I'd be like, who wants to be in this random group chat with like random followers? I still follow and talk to these people to this day. And this is like
Love
years
that.
ago. But I feel like, and I always tell my clients this, like when they come to me, because I do social media, they're like, I mean, I want to, I want to hit 10K or I want to hit 100,000 followers. And it's like, that's great. And I think it can be a motivator for some people. But if you're only focused on the numbers, you lose sight of that community that is what's actually going to buy or what's going to build your business. People who are just numbers aren't
Mhm.
going to buy from you and they're not going to contribute to your business in any way. Because if also too, like when you're focusing on just the numbers and the followers, you could attract people that will never buy from you ever. Like they're just there for one reason. You make a post that has nothing to do with your business. It goes viral. Now they followed you for the peanut butter and jelly sandwich you made, and they don't care about your coaching business. And they're never
Yeah.
going to buy from you ever.
And then it's just like, great, I'm happy this person's here, but like they're not even consuming half of the content. They like the
No.
one random post. And
Yep.
especially like for me, I mentor a lot of women that have coaching businesses, personal
Mm-hmm.
training businesses, stuff like that, where
Yep.
it's like you're using social media to sell your own products, offer services. And I
Mm-hmm.
always tell them, I'm like, you really need to be careful about creating content like a content creator, which is like that. You post a
Yes.
recipe, but that's not what you're selling. People follow you for that. They're not going to buy from you to your
Yes.
exact point. And it's like, I think
Exactly.
another piece of it is inevitably like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, would love a million followers,
Oh my
but I
God, who
also
wouldn't?
know one day I will have a million followers. So this is
Yeah.
like the manifestation side of things. And I call this
Mm-hmm.
like your certainty frequency. It's like if you're so certain you're going to get something, you don't need to think about it
Yes.
all the time. You don't need to
No.
obsess over it. Like, I know I'm
Exactly.
going to have a million followers one day. I talk about this on my
Mm-hmm.
podcast all the time. I really want to buy a Lamborghini. And I'm like, I
I'm so
know one
invested in this
day.
journey for you, by the way, girl. I am like waiting for you to get this Lambo truck. I'm
Oh,
invested.
I'm so glad to hear that. I hear that from people so often. I'm like, yay, I'm so happy that I've brought everybody on this journey. I'm like,
Oh, I'm locked in.
oh my gosh, I cannot wait. Somebody asked me the other day, they were like, why don't you just buy it? And I'm like, because the vision is buying it in cash and it's like literally doesn't make a
Yes.
dent. Like, I'm like, it's got to be
Yeah.
in a certain energy where it's like F
Mm-hmm.
it level.
Mm-hmm.
And so, anyways, I'm like, that's like I want, but I don't have to obsess over it. I don't have to like think about
Right.
it every day and be like, this is for the Lambo truck. This is for the, it's like, I know it's going
Mm-hmm.
to happen. And I
Yeah.
have that level of certainty. Same thing with a million followers. Same thing with, I have my
Mm-hmm.
podcast over 5 million downloads, same as like 10 million. I don't have to obsess over the numbers because I know I'm going to
Exactly.
get there. And you would actually enjoy the process so much
Yeah.
more if you focus on what you were doing and not just that metric,
Yeah.
basically.
And like the energy behind it. I'll shorten the story as much as I can. You're going to appreciate this. Back like years ago when I was super into trying to manifest a certain amount of followers, like this was like before I really learned the energetics of it and the intention behind it and focus more on the community. I was like, I just want the followers. So I did this like,
Mhm.
I don't know if you ever read, I forget who's by, but it's like Creating Money. It's like a manifestation book. And
Oh,
in
I've read
one,
it. Yeah.
yeah. Do you remember the visualization technique where it's like you visualize yourself as a magnet and you imagine all the money coming to you, whatever. I did that, but for social media. I was like, I feel like this could
Mm.
work. It worked, but did not go the way I wanted it to go. So I did it, went out with my friend, came back from like hanging out with my friend, and one of my videos, yeah, was blowing up, but it was all hate comments and someone was trying to cancel me and it was going really, really
Oh
negatively.
no.
But it like and I'm so grateful that that happened. Like in the moment, younger me was like, oh my God, I'm getting canceled. This is it. I'm done on the internet. Like, what am I going to do with myself? Like, it's over for me. But it made me realize that even like if you're using manifestation techniques like journaling and scripting and like visualizing to create social media growth, there's the energetics and the intention behind it still needs to be very clear. I like could have been way more clear about my intention behind this visualization that I did because it worked, but it wasn't in the energy that I wanted it to work in. I was getting myself canceled, girl. I
Yeah.
was like, what is going on? Like, this is
You're like open
crazy.
your phone, you're like jump scare, throwing my phone away. Like,
Yes, like I see all the notifications of like, it worked. And then I open them all and I'm like, never mind. I don't
you're
even
like,
want to know anything
oh,
about this. Never mind. I'm deleting
not
this
in
video
the
and
way,
I'm never
not in the way
posting
we want
again.
it.
Oh, no. But what are your thoughts on using like not just specific manifestation tools like visualizing scripting, but like actually using, because I feel like seen you talk about this, using social media itself as a
Mhm.
tool for manifestation.
Yeah, this is like my whole thing this year is that
Hmm.
I want women to start using social media as their money manifestation machine specifically
Hmm.
because at this point I have been teaching manifestation for so long. And like the
Yeah,
number one thing people want to talk about is money, of course, right? Like duh.
of course.
Everybody wants the rich girl lifestyle. And honestly,
Hmm.
what that boils down to is people want freedom. They want choice.
Yes.
And I'm right there with you, girl. Like anyone here to manifest money, like I'm your girl. But I'm like weird, so over picking up pennies on the ground. I still do
Yes.
it, but that's not going to get you to $1 million in the bank. I don't want
Hmm.
to sit around and wait for you to get a check in the mail. Like it's not your man getting a raise. Sure, it's a
Hmm.
manifestation. It's not the one. And it's like when we want to think about manifesting bigger money and manifesting this
Hmm.
freedom lifestyle, social media is going to make that happen a million times faster than
Yes.
anything else. And it gives you a how, right? That's something like what people get so tripped up on in manifestation. They're like, but how? But how? And like they do these
Hmm.
techniques and like they do this like the scripting and all that, and then they don't really feel like they know what to do next. And they're in this waiting
Hmm.
energy because they miss the action part. So I'm like, great,
Right.
if we can do the scripting and the visualization and shift your energy, and then we can take action with social media, and that's your how, you're going to feel so much more of that certainty frequency. So when
Hmm.
I'm talking about like using social media as your manifestation machine, it's like anything on your vision board, social media can open the doors for. You want to travel
So true.
more? Like you can start posting travel content and you're going to get invited places. You can
Hmm.
become a travel UGC creator. You can get brand deals. You can host
Hmm.
your own retreat and then you can go travel that way. You can, like, there's so many ways you can do that. Like, you want to be healthier, use social media to document the process, and that's going to hold you accountable to get your dream body. You want to make more money in your business? Post on social media a
Hmm.
million times more, show up more, add more value to people. Like, anything that you do on social media in alignment with your goals is going to get you closer. There's
Yeah.
always somebody on the internet that's connected, somebody that's listening, somebody that's ready to buy, a brand that's ready to even give products to people's bachelorette parties. We've seen this so much on
Yeah.
social media now. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, if you
Hmm.
don't want to spend money, reach out to these brands. Like, social media is there and it's ready. And then even these girls that get like hundreds of dollars of products donated to their bachelorette parties, like they get to make content and then they go viral and they literally become content creators overnight
Yes.
because of that. So I'm like,
Yes.
social media is like the manifestation machine moving forward. And now we're just seeing more and more of that with TikTok Shop, Instagram Shop is
Yep.
opening up. There are so many ways that you can sell your own products and services. I mean, there's
Hmm.
just endless amounts of tools for you to
Yeah.
use. You just have to show up and do the work. That's what people
Hmm.
forget is like you have to get out of your own way and show up and do the work. But when you do
Yeah.
it, the manifestations are there. They're ready for you now.
Exactly. Like manifesting is not just, I wish, like, dear genie, rubbing this bottle, please give me 1 million followers. And then you sit there and then they just like, no, there's so much
No,
work involved. And I love using the example. I don't know if you're familiar with like the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and like all those girls.
love them.
I
Yes.
feel like they are such a
So
good
tea.
example of how social media, oh my God, I'm also very locked into all of that. I love drama when it's not mine. Love it when it's not mine.
Amen.
But they're like such a perfect example of how social media can literally change your life. Like they were like
Mhm.
posting little dancing videos with their kids doing like mom stuff. And now
Yeah.
they have their reality TV stars. Well, Whitney was just on Broadway doing like it is
Yeah.
crazy. Even like in my own business, I host monthly content creation events for like local small business owners and creators in my area. And I don't like to, one, pay for a space to use it, and two, I like to collaborate with
Mhm.
other businesses. I used my friends that I had and I would post about these events on social media. And then over time, I would get businesses reaching out to me, offering me to
Mhm.
host my events at their spaces. So then it felt like a manifestation. It's like, this is what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I wanted to host these events. And now I have businesses in my inbox, in my email saying, hey, can we host one of your, like asking me to host my events? It's like showing
I
up
love that.
in the energy, like you've said before, the identity of like who you want to be, detaching from the current follower count, acting as if you have the followers, the community, whatever it is, and just showing up in that authentic way, not in like a desperate, give me money, give me free stuff, give me followers way, but like, I'm here to build a community. My impact is greater than just a follower count. And this is what I'm here for.
Yeah, and when you're willing to put in the work, like that's when
Hmm.
manifestation becomes easy. I think people are like, "Oh, I just want what I want and I want it to be easy." Like, no, you're
Hmm.
absolutely going to work hard. It's going to be
Yeah,
hard work. But I'm sorry, much rather my version of hard work is like laying on the couch editing reels for, an hour,
exactly.
whatever. It's like, is that really hard? Like you're going to put in work, you're going to
Right.
learn. And it's like once you do that up front, it does get easier later. You put in so much work
Hmm.
at the beginning for your monthly meetups, and then later on it gets easier and people are reaching out. But that was because you took that leap of faith first. And I think
Yeah.
that's what people forget. Like when I launched my first retreat, it was me and
Hmm.
two girls. It was like the very, very first thing I ever sold in my business. And I
Hmm.
had no fucking clue what I was doing. And I'm like,
Right.
I look back and I'm like, that is so crazy that I even had two random strangers from the internet sign up for my retreat. And we like literally
Yeah.
met in Greece. Like I was 20 years old, no clue what I was
Love
doing.
that.
And it's like I took that leap of faith and put in all of this work. Like one of them, I had to
Hmm.
get on the phone with her mom because her mom's like, I need to make sure my child is safe, like going
Right.
overseas with you. And I was
Yeah.
like, no, I was just willing to do whatever it took. And
Hmm.
that's what
I
made
love
it like
that.
such an iconic part of my business. And so that's what led to me being able to sell out my retreats later on with so much more
Hmm.
ease because I put in a lot of reps up front. I didn't expect it to always be easy and fall into my lap. And
Exactly.
that's what a lot of people think with manifestation. It's like
Yeah.
that's not the point. The
No.
techniques and the visualization stuff is fun and it gets you in the energy and it gets you in the right place. And then we
Right.
have to pair it with the action.
Exactly. Like it helps you get into that identity, that mindset, but then you have to actually take the action while maintaining that energy and that mindset at the same time and bringing it all together.
Yeah, 100%.
Can you speak to like how do you view impact in a way that's not tied to followers and how have you used social media to grow your business without thinking about the number of followers? So I feel like so many people are like, "Oh my God, there's no way I can grow my business or have clients or be successful if I don't have 5,000 followers or if I don't have 10,000
Mhm.
followers or 100,000, whatever." People tie these metrics of business success to followers and also tie impact to the amount of followers you have. So I'm curious to hear how you define those things in a way that is not tied to followers.
Yeah, for me, impact is about like lives I have changed. And it
Hmm.
has never been a number for me.
Right.
Some people are like, will put in their Instagram bio, like 100 or 1,000 lives changed in our programs or whatever. And I love that. And I understand the strategy behind them sharing that. But it was never about like numbers for me. Even when I
Yeah.
had like at the beginning of this, when I shared, like I had that moment in the mirror, I was like, if I can change my shitty life, like I can change anybody else's. It was like I really could just I can change one other person's life. Like
Hmm.
that's what impact is to me. And I've had the like beautiful gift of getting to meet so many clients in person because I host a lot of in-person events
Yeah,
and
love that.
it's so much fun and getting to meet people in real life and
It
really
is.
see how much it's changed their lives. So many of my clients that have lost insane amounts of weight, so many clients who have
Hmm.
left bad partnerships, gotten divorces, completely changed their life, like all, and I get to hear it and I get to physically see it. And like that's impact to me is like
Right.
even when somebody tells me on a call or over a DM, they're like, oh my gosh, I listened to this episode and then X, Y, and Z happened. Like that's
Hmm.
impact to me. And impact is so far removed from numbers. I think that's
Oh
part
my
of
God,
like
yes.
the neutralization, like the normalization that we've created, like we mentioned earlier. It's like
Hmm.
you can impact one person and like that's enough. Like that's good enough. And then everything is just above and beyond. So that's always how I felt about it is like more about their lives. And then
Yeah.
success outside of the numbers, I would say to somebody who feels like, oh, like I can't have a business to like 5,000 followers, whatever. The first thing I like to challenge with people with that is like, who told you that? Like who?
Yeah, because it wasn't
Like,
me and it wasn't you.
yeah, I'm like, where did you get that? Yeah, I love asking my clients this part. I'm like, where did you learn that? Where did you hear that? Because like
Hmm.
I had less than 1,000 followers when I launched my business, and my first
Yeah.
offer was over $2,000. I'll even hear from people that are like,
Amazing.
"It's my first course, and I only have X amount of followers." I'm like, "You had almost three times the followers I had when I first started,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, Why do you feel like you have to start with a $300 program when you know you want to make it
Hmm.
longer and you want to give more?" I'm like, "You're holding back because of some fake rule you created in your head." It's like
Exactly.
where did you get that from? And that's what I would challenge everybody listening is like anything that you think there's a barrier around. It's like, oh, well, I
Hmm.
have to do this for that. I have to move into the perfect house before I can, film content. I need the perfect
Right.
lighting before I can do this. Any bear, I'd be like, why? Why is that? They are just
Hmm.
excuses. Like one of my core sayings is your excuses are boring. Like it
Yes.
is so boring to sit there with somebody who's like, well, I have this goal, but like I can't launch my company until I have this amount and I can't start
Hmm.
posting now. But it's like snooze fest. I'm checking out. I'm ordering another coffee because I'm gonna fall asleep. Like I'm
Yeah,
like, no,
exactly.
why are we doing this to ourselves? And I even think about last thing I'll say on this with like numbers and success is like
Hmm.
I am a really big T-Pain fan. Okay.
Love
Super
that.
random. I
Love that though.
love me some T-Pain. I've seen him live like three times. He is incredible.
Amazing.
And he launched a like an energy shot company, or I don't even know if it's
Oh
energy, but
yeah.
they're like nootropics, kind of like vitamin
Right.
supplement. energy shots. And they only have like 3,000 followers on Instagram. And he's
Hmm.
got, I don't know how many followers he has, but obviously way more because he's been in the industry for
Oh my
over
God,
20
yeah.
years. Like he's been making music a long time. And it's like he started this whole new company. It's got 3,000 followers, but he is this huge, icon in the rap industry.
Hmm.
And it's like, imagine if he launched that and he was like, oh, only 3,000 people followed. Like, let me not do it anymore. Like, that would
Right.
be a terrible business decision
Yeah.
just based off of a number that doesn't matter. Imagine if all 3,000 people ordered, they would be oversold out. Their factories would
Hmm.
probably be fucked. They'd probably be like, this is too many
Exactly.
orders. We literally can't keep up. So,
Exactly.
anytime you're in your head about the numbers, it's like, where did I get this story from? Like,
Hmm.
why am I literally, honestly, like, why am I letting this be an excuse?
Yeah.
And like, what is stopping me from just getting down and dirty with the work? Like, let me
Yeah.
just go do the fucking thing, and you'll realize the numbers
Hmm.
don't matter.
No, they don't. And I would go as far to say too is like it's a form of self-sabotage. Like there's
Yeah.
some sort of limiting internal belief, like you're afraid of the success, you're afraid of what might change in your life. Like there's some sort of limiting belief going on that's causing
Mhm.
you to delay this action by basing it on something you know you don't have real control over. Like we don't control who follows us. We can do all the strategies and post all the content and do all the things, but at the end of the day, we cannot control a single soul who decides to hit follow on any of our content. So using something that we cannot control as an excuse to not take action is a form of self-sabotage, in my very strong
Oh my
opinion.
God. 100%. And you know what's so interesting nowadays too is like it's also so much more difficult to get a follower nowadays, right? Because
Yeah,
we
everyone's
all
stingy
follow.
about it.
Yeah, everybody is stingy about it. We've all been, now we're used to social media. So now we're not just giving out follows. It's so funny. I started
Hmm.
rereading this book that I bought, oh my God, probably like 6 years ago. And they were talking about how to use social media. I can't even remember. The book is like, it said about setting boundaries or something. And they're like,
Right.
how to set boundaries, whatever. They talked about Twitter. I was like, oh my God, throwback. And they were
Love
talking about
that.
like Instagram when it was basically just like photos and filters. And they were
Mm,
like, it's so much easier to get followers on Instagram than it is with Twitter. Like basically everybody's stingy on Twitter now. And now we see this
yeah.
whole process continue on. I was just laughing about that. But it's
It's
so
so
much more,
different.
I know it's so different now. And it's like it's difficult to get these followers because also the algorithms now set up in ways where you don't even need to follow somebody to see their content all the time. If you,
Exactly.
especially on TikTok, if you're interacting
Oh
with
my
somebody, they're
God.
going to keep
Yep.
coming up. And so if you're basing everything on follower count, you're just slowing yourself down. Most people aren't even following. It takes a
Yeah.
lot of re-exposure before they finally
Yes.
decide, okay, I like you enough. I'm going to follow.
Exactly. I think there's like a number that goes to it. There's a certain amount of exposures that people need to see your content in order for them to decide to follow you. And this is something that comes up all the time with like my social media management clients of like, they're like,
Mm,
Amanda, why didn't I not go viral this month? And why did I not gain 1,000 new followers? I'm like, Bestie, listen, our reach like is up 300%. That means that all those unique accounts that just saw you, they're going to see your content again, which gives them another chance to decide if they want to follow you or not. Most people are not just like followed because they saw one piece of content. It takes
yeah.
so many exposures, which is another reason why when you're like actively trying to grow social media, whether you're, using manifestation or not, whatever, it's still so important to know that you cannot rely on all the numbers to tell you the full picture. Like the ROI on your efforts is evergreen. It's going like I'll have videos from years ago on TikTok still getting traction now. And I posted that 2 or 3 years ago. Like
Oh my God,
it's going to
yeah.
continue to snowball and yield the results that you want. But if you get all wrapped up in the numbers and like, I can't do anything until I have 10K, like, girl,
Girl,
let's be
giving
so
a
for real.
break.
Let's be
Yeah.
so for real.
Seriously, it's like you're just delaying for like indefinitely. Like you're really delaying your own results. And that's why I think the
Hmm.
identity piece is so important. It's like, well, who do I need
Hmm.
to be every single day on social media? And like that
Hmm.
does snowball forward because when you are consistently showing up as that next level version of you on social media over and over and over
Hmm.
again, every time that person finds you, they're like, oh, this just gives me like I always think about the feeling I give people on social media. For me, I always
Yes.
describe it as like a loving kick in the ass. So
Love
like,
that.
yeah,
And true.
it's always my vibe. Yeah, it's so me. And so I'm like, okay, when they see my content, they're gonna get like this loving kick in the ass. And they're like, oh, I
Hmm.
needed to hear that. And then they're gonna get it again. And they're gonna get it again. And they're
Hmm.
gonna be like, then there's gonna be a day. They're like, fuck, I need a kick in the ass. And then they're going to look me up and then they're going to realize they're
Hmm.
not following me. And that's what's going to do it. It's like, that's
Exactly.
how people use social media nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's how I use it, even if it's not for feelings. It's like, oh, I need a recommendation for this. Oh, I need to look up this vegan baking
Hmm.
account. Oh, I'm not following
Yes.
that. What the heck? It's like, that's where, social media is at now. So you can't let the numbers define you.
No, absolutely not. And so I know you are a lover of a hot take like me. I also like to be
Yes.
the big sister who gives really tough but spicy but loving love all the time. Give me a hot take or a few related to both social media and manifestation. I'm sat and I'm ready and I'm ready for the kick in the ass.
Let's see. I would say with social media,
Hmm.
following the algorithm is a waste of your fucking time.
Amen.
Truly.
Amen.
Truly. And I know I mentioned it's like this is how the algorithm is nowadays because that's also what I would say buyer behavior is on social media and like
Yeah,
following behavior. Not, I don't make my strategy around this, but the people,
exactly.
I love them so much because I know some of them, but I'm like the people that are making videos that are like, this is what the algorithm's doing this month, babe. This is a waste of your fucking time. I have talked about this with my clients, like the times that you spend studying the algorithm, and you're like, okay, let me
Yep.
post this content based on this algorithm, great, and then it doesn't perform, and then you're like, oh
Right.
my God, that doesn't even make sense. I posted for the algorithm, so now you're confused. Now you're giving your power
Hmm.
away, and then oh, Mark Zuckerberg, new update, new algorithm. You do it all over again.
Yes.
What a waste of your fucking time. And then at the
Hmm.
same time, I will get people in my ear being like, well, I was posting the algorithm and I was doing this and I thought I was being strategic and I spent so much time learning, like, then I didn't go to the gym and like, I don't have time to work out and I don't have time for this. I
Hmm.
don't have time for that. It's like, that's because you're wasting your time. When it comes to social media, you can
1000%.
depend on the algorithm to dictate how you are posting content. And the real issue outside of the fact that it wastes your time is that in that process, you never become an influential human. That
No.
is what you have to be on social media. Like the reason why I've grown such an incredible business and so many followers across platforms is because I'm an
Hmm.
influential human being in real life, online, in
Yeah.
my content, in my coaching, like across the board. And when
Yep.
people are always looking for a hack, the algorithm, the hooks, all of that, they're never becoming the influence.
Hmm.
And so that's one of my hot
So
takes for
true.
social media is like, you've got to stop wasting your time with these algorithm videos. And we tell
Yes.
ourselves, like, oh, I'm being strategic and this, and it makes sense, but it's wasting your time, truly. It's
Yes.
never
The
going to
only
get
thing
you
we
where you want to
know
go.
about the algorithm is that it operates like a search engine, but then using the algorithm as an excuse for why something didn't do well is just a cop out to prevent yourself from getting better and improving
Yep.
your content and improving your strategy.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the perfect way to put it. It's like the search engine is exactly what all the platforms are right now. And then
Exactly.
knowing that we're in an interest media phase, so everybody's just
Hmm.
they're just seeing their interest. They're not seeing people they know on their platforms anymore.
Exactly.
So, and then that they're not going to follow you until they see you probably 20 times or whatever the number is. It's like
Exactly.
that's all you need to know. You don't create a strategy around that. Like you don't depend your whole life on the algorithm updates, I should say.
Oh my
So
God.
that's one of my like hot takes in social media because I see so many of those videos, especially on YouTube. They're like, here's
Yes.
your whole month. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah. And this
we
is
could
what the
like,
algorithm's doing, right? Like no one knows. Literally no one knows anything about the algorithm other than it operates as a search engine. That's all we know. Anyone else who
yeah,
claims to know more about the algorithm than that is lying to you.
they're lying to you. They're selling you something. So that would
Exactly.
be one of my hot takes there. And then one about manifestation that drives me fucking crazy are
Hmm.
these like little manifestation challenges. And I've talked about them a lot on my podcast. Like when people are
Hmm.
like, oh, the 3-6-9 method and like the whisper method and the 5-5-5 challenge. I'm like,
Hmm.
oh my God, I'm like rolling over my grave. So for
I'm
anybody
gonna
who
throw
doesn't
up.
know what this is, there's like even journals that'll be like the 3-6-9
Hmm.
journal. And then I don't even know what it is. You write something down like 3 times and then 6 times and then nine
Yeah.
times. Or there's like the 5-5-5 challenge where you write one affirmation 55 times, like 5 times a day or something. Again, what a colossal waste of fucking time. Like,
Yes.
this is just the biggest distraction. I am a huge believer in affirmations and repetition. You don't need to
Hmm.
sit down and write that a million times a day. Like that, I'm like, that is just such a waste of time. And then the issue is they don't tell them to take any action afterwards. They're like, just do this
Exactly.
that's how it's going to manifest. No, the fuck it's not. Like,
No.
that's not how it works.
No, the amount of action you could have taken when you're writing down this thing 55 times, 5 times a day, whatever, you could have created probably like 50 pieces of content. Maybe
Yep.
more realistic, 10 pieces of content, but still, you could have created so much content. You could have put that out in the world, and that's like actually going to move the needle than just, Dear Diary, I want $1 million. I want it like,
Yeah, I cannot.
no.
There's so many things out there now that's pulling for our attention. And the last thing
Hmm.
we need is to distract ourselves with things that literally don't matter, whether it's like studying the algorithm, thinking that you're studying the algorithm, or like writing this
Hmm.
down a million times, or even like I can't stand like social media accounts that are like, this is how I manifested my man. And they like write something on a note, put it in their fucking pillowcase, they go to sleep, they wake up with a text. Like, that is just not how it works. And
No.
then I always say this. I'm like, you're probably forgetting the fact that like she did that, and then who she being general, it's like, and then she posted a hot selfie on her Instagram, and then the guy
Hmm.
texted her, as he should. She's posting
Yeah,
a thirst trap or a hot selfie. Like you forget, like that was her action step, but they don't include
exactly.
that, and
No, they
then
don't include the
people are
action.
confused. Yeah, and then people are confused, thinking like, oh, like what I wished for didn't just
Hmm.
fall into my lap, and it's like, no, everything in life takes work. Like we are manifesting physical things for the most, like for the
Yeah.
majority of the time. Of course, you can manifest feelings, and that's a different conversation, but it's like you are manifesting like sales, clients,
Hmm.
a person in your life, your dream body, up like your dream home, like all these things. Like you need to physically go work for things
Yeah,
if that's what you want to create. So those are
exactly.
two things that drive me fucking crazy of where people get distracted and then they focus on the wrong
Hmm.
things and then they get frustrated when they don't get results.
Yes, and then they blame the algorithm for all of that instead of looking in the mirror and be like, maybe I'm distracted and self-sabotaging my goals in the first place.
Literally, it's like maybe I need to work on myself and take more action. I actually
Hmm.
saw a video the other day that was really interesting. This guy, he was like, I'm a big believer in posting 30 times a day for 30 days. And I was like, holy
Hmm.
shit. I was like, that's next level. That's a
Yeah.
lot. And I was like, I'm not for or against it. Like, if you can crank out that type of content, that's
Hell
like
yeah.
honestly, kudos to you. It's incredible. His
Hmm.
video, super simple, no caption. It's just him talking to the camera.
Hmm.
There's like literally nothing to it, just him talking to the camera. I'm like, yeah, you could absolutely film 30 of those a day. But the
Yeah.
comment section was my worst nightmare. So many excuses. Who
I
has
bet.
time for that? Who has this? Who has that? It's like, okay, I mean, yeah, that's an extreme. 30 times a day is a lot, right? But it's like,
Hmm.
even if you wanted to post 3 times a day, people would still say the same thing. Like, I don't have time. I don't have this. I don't have that.
Yep.
I'm like,
Yep.
show me your screen time. Like, show me what you're doing in your real life. How much Netflix are you watching? Are you watching Love Island?
Hmm.
Stop watching Love Island and go work
Seriously.
on your goals. Like, I think those are like that's like an overarching hot take of mine. Is like stop fucking
Hmm.
wasting your time and then saying you don't have time. Like you
Hmm.
don't have you can watch that and say, I don't want to post 30 times a day. That's too much
That's
for
fine.
me. And
Yeah.
you're okay to say that. But even if you're like, I want to post 1 to 3 times a day for 30 days, great, do it. Don't make excuses around it. Don't feel like you need to
Hmm.
learn something. Don't feel like you need to go do some witchy, crazy thing. Like, just go fucking put in
Exactly.
the work and be who you need to be to get it done.
Exactly. As a social media manager, I will not be showing anyone my screen time. That's none of my business. Those are my work hours. But yes, I do agree with you on for non-social media manager people. Yes, look at your screen time and see where are the gaps in this time.
Yeah.
Because the amount of time you spend consuming content, you should also be spending that same amount of time creating content. If social media growth or anything related to your goals has something to do with social media, if you're going to consume it, like I think there was this trend on TikTok. It's like every time you open the app, you have to create something.
Yeah, I
I
saw that.
actually love that because it's like if
So
your goals are
genius.
related to social media and manifesting, yes, every time you open the app, you should be posting something or creating something. If you're not, well, time to buck up. Just put the camera on and start talking, babe.
Yeah, literally start talking. And you know what? Everybody's excuse is, well, I don't know what to post. Like, well, what am I supposed to
Hmm.
say? I don't have anything to say. And I'm like, that is so beyond me because like you want to use social media to grow your
Yes.
business, to do any, how do you not
Yes.
have anything to say? And I actually like posted about this recently. I'm like, if you are caught in that, but I don't know what to post, like one, that
Hmm.
means that you are just like you're way too focused on yourself because like you're not
Exactly.
having maybe a unique thought that day. So
Hmm.
you don't know what to post, or maybe you're not having the most interesting day on the planet. You're like, well, my day's boring. Like, so you're caught up in yourself. and then you're not thinking about the person that you want to attract into your audience, whether that's a client, a customer, a community member. It's like,
Exactly.
think about what they need to hear. Think about what you needed to hear 2 years ago. You should
Hmm.
have endless amounts of content pouring out of your ears. And if you
Yes.
don't, then you need to go do something new with your life, like lovingly.
Exactly.
Go
Yes.
do
No, but
something with your
seriously.
life. Go on a walk, like go meet up with a friend, go read a new book, like literally go do something. Because when you're doing
Hmm.
something with your life, especially within like the niche that you're creating content around, like if I'm like, oh, I
Yes.
don't have anything to say around manifesting, it's like, then go manifest something, go
You're
focus on
right.
working towards something, and then I will have things to talk about. So if you're
Yes.
that person, like, you know what, we should challenge everybody. Every time you
Mhm.
open one of the apps after this episode, you need to post a video, you need to tag both of
Amen.
us. If you don't know what to post, stop thinking about yourself. What does somebody else
Exactly.
need to hear? Like it gets to be
Hmm.
that simple.
Yes. If I ever say ever that I have nothing to say, call 911. I'm mentally unwell because I don't know how to shut up. I could talk to a tree
Yeah.
stump if I could. I love to talk. If I ever say I don't have anything to say, I'm in trouble. But
Something's
I
wrong.
something is wrong. One of my spiciest hot takes is that, like, sure, we all have insecurities, but sometimes being insecure can be selfish because we are thinking only about ourselves and we forget of why we're showing up in the first place, which is to serve our community and to serve others. So, exactly what you
Yep.
said. If you feel like you have nothing to say, you're probably thinking about yourself too much. Sure, it's okay to have a little bit of insecurities, but don't let that hold you back from serving your people, which is ultimately going to get you to where you want to be in the first place.
Yep, 100%. I have been making content. I made content even before my business. So I've been creating content for over
Hmm.
like 10 years now. There
Yeah,
have been so many phases of that where I felt insecure, where I felt like, oh, I
same.
want to lose weight. I don't like how this looks. I don't like that. I'm on my period. My face is puffy. You know, whatever. The lighting's not good. I look bad in this
Hmm.
light. You're going to hear everything under the sun in your head, like, especially
Hmm.
if you're posting content every single day. But
Yes.
that I don't let that stop me from posting because again, it's not about me. And when you take that
Exactly.
approach to social media, you will manifest what you want so much faster because manifestation,
So much
like the
faster.
abundance side of it, it's like it's not about you. It's like we have so much to give and we're here to provide value for
Hmm.
other people and then we receive that back. So you have
Yes.
to just get out of your head and some days you won't be able to stop the thoughts and you're going to have a shitty 5 minutes and you're going to have a day where it's like, oh, yuck. But you show up anyways. And that's what
Hmm.
makes people stand out. That's the difference between
Yeah,
successful people and people that fall off the face of the planet from the internet.
exactly. Like if social media growth and success and manifestation, if it was all easy, everyone would be doing it. It's that extra effort that you show up on the hard days. You show up when you don't feel great. You show up when your makeup came out like shit. You show up when you have breakouts all over your face. You show up when you're bloated. Like it doesn't matter. You just show up because it's more than just how you look. It's the energy that you provide. It's the value that you provide to people, the impact that you make on lives. And none of that has anything to do with how you look. That's something that really
Literally.
only we care about. Like I'll show up in my videos, I'm fresh out of the gym, my face is red. Like I get beet red after my workouts. I look like a tomato
I
after
love
hot
it.
Pilates. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'll
Oh,
still
me
show
too,
up.
girl.
It's like, what is I can't explain it. Everyone's like, girl, your face is so red. I'm like, sorry, I'm still me. I don't know what's going on, but it's
Your
fine.
face is so red.
I'm
Okay,
like,
great. Did you hear what I
okay.
said? Like,
Yeah,
listen to the video.
exactly.
Don't look.
Honestly, it's kind of like a visual hook. It's like, oh, if you're attracted by my red face, you should listen to what I'm saying also. But I'll show
Exactly.
up. I don't care. I have a lot to say. There's a lot of people that I want to help, and it's all rooted in going back to like we talked about impact, wanting to change one life. If I can help one small business, which is their dream, elevate and become successful, I'm happy. If I can help one content creator start getting brand deals and then she can make more money to contribute to her family, I'm happy. Even if I have to deliver that life-changing information with a beet red face, sweat everywhere, and a zit on my nose, like I don't care. I'll do
Yep.
it.
100%. And that's what it takes, like
Hmm.
that is what it takes to be successful is the willingness to feel like a hot mess ourselves to just still show up
Yes.
for other people.
Yes, that's where the true power is at. And that's the defining factor between someone who just does it and like thinks about it and visualizes it but doesn't act, and the person who takes that action, aligns their identity with it, and then actually does the damn thing.
Yeah, exactly. Beautifully said.
Exactly. Thank you so much for being here. I am
Yeah.
so excited to like get this out here for everyone to hear it. If for the people who are not familiar with you and like where can they find you? If they want to work with you, how can they do that? How can they get that loving kick in the ass more often that we all love and need?
Yes, everybody needs a little MJ in their life. So you guys can find me all over social media. I'm at the Mikayla J, Instagram, TikTok. YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, all over the place. You can listen to my podcast, Mindset Magic Manifestation Podcast, on any podcasting platform. We also do video on YouTube as well. And if you want to be up to date with what I've got going on, usually I'm posting that on Instagram. I'm at the Mikayla J, and
Mhm.
we've got various programs running. I'm also hosting a conference this year, which is going to be amazing.
I'm
It's
so
in
obsessed.
I'm so excited. It's in September in Dallas. It's called Rich Girl Renaissance Live, 4-day content conference for the woman who's ready to become a content millionaire. We're basically going to be spending 4 days mastering being an influential woman on social media so you can start manifesting FBS clients like crazy. It's going to be amazing. So if you
I'm
want details on
obsessed.
that, just message me. It's going to be the best time.
Yes, everyone do that. Everyone go follow Mikayla, listen to the podcast. Like I said, been listening for years. I'm invested in the Lambo truck journey. I'm always thinking about taking crazy batshit action all the time. Like truly
Yes,
obsessed. Everyone, if they've not listened, please go do. Mikayla, again, thank you so much for coming on
of
the podcast
course.
today. I
Thanks for
appreciate
having
you.
me. Of
Of
course.
course.